What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Strength Forward Podcast. We have a repeat guest, the first ever repeat guest, Mr. Jon Martin, who's repping Who's Your Pop today. I love it. We're gonna. So today we decided we were gonna talk about some training stuff, lifting weights, navigating injuries, getting hurt, all the stuff. Because Mr. Jon actually just got hurt recently, didn't you?
Very, very true. Just a few days ago, Kyle, or a few nights ago.
Yeah. So you were squatting a significant amount of weight, 485 pounds, and you said you messed your groin or something.
It felt like it, bro. I mean, I've hit more before, but in a different way of squatting. If you squat often, you know there's high bar where you put the bar right here,
Yep.
and there's low bar where all these power lifters put it right almost on their shoulders and lean forward.
Yep.
I've hit, I think, 507 pounds before on the low bar, but this high bar is a little more to it. I think you're in a little more compromised position, and I knew in the bottom of my heart that I needed to chill at 10 pounds under there. I'd been sick. I slept pretty well, but not great. I ate all right, but not perfect. And I said, I do this. Let's go.
It was actually your boy's fault. He talked you into going heavier. We're going to blame him.
100%. And the trainer part of me would have said, hey, that 405 moved quickly, but not perfect. Let's do 20 pounds less, 30 pounds less for a double and call it a day. And let's delay this PR 3 weeks. Get over yourself. I did not. I said, I'm a man.
Send it, dude.
And by the way, I'm not sorry. I'm going to learn something. I'm not sorry. It's okay. Even though I'm walking like this, I'm walking
just barely making it.
I'll see if I can show y'all the view. But yeah, I'm trying to. Kyle, I was in the midst of a squat. I'm here. I start my squat. I go down. I'm pretty. Let me see if I can get you on. We're gonna keep moving this around. I'm in the squat. I'm right here. Boom. Get my little rebound from my knee sleeves.
Yep.
Get up here and I go, ooh, that fatigue don't feel too great. Can I grind it? Nope, can't grind it. And I start going down, and instead of going down quickly and bailing, I went down a little more controlled. And as I go down a little more controlled, I heard right around here, below my belly button, around here in my groin. And I immediately hit the deck, hit the floor like this. Kind of, I had safeties, let the bar go over my head, which is always a no-no. But
yeah, never do that.
I had 3 spotters with me. Why? I don't know. Because they're all experienced lifters. I asked them to do it because my boys were there and I didn't think I'd need them. So I wanted their energy in my video. I'm just being honest. And I wanted my victory dance. And I got what I deserved. Take the ego out and do what you need to do.
You hit 475, and then you were like, you wanted to hit it for a double, and your boy was like, hey, just put 5s on it, hit 485, and you went for it, you sent it.
And my buddy my buddy Edward Acevedo just won the Georgia State Powerlifting Championships last weekend in Alpharetta, so he's no slouch.
Yeah.
He knows me, he knows what I can do, he watched it. But, and here's the thing, for all of y'all working out with coaches, you listen to your coach, but you have the final little say because your coach don't know that you had this much of your meal instead of this much. Your coach doesn't know that you woke up and went, ooh. Like, he may, if you communicate all that, then okay.
Yeah.
But if you don't, the lesson is communicate all that to your coach. I didn't communicate that to my coach. I said, he doesn't need to know that. And I paid the price. But
vice versa too. Sometimes your coach will tell you to not do something, but internally you might actually have it that day. And sometimes you got to make a decision the opposite direction. You're like, hey, coach, I know, but I'm feeling it and I'm going for it. And sometimes you got to do that.
Completely agree. And here's my thing. If you have to ask your coach, you're not ready.
Oh, I like that. That's a good point.
If you have to there's this, me and my quotes, there's a saying. And Kyle, am I allowed to curse on here or do I know?
Yeah. Why not?
Probably not. Okay, I'll cut it. If
Okay.
if the answer isn't yes, it's F no. If the answer isn't F yes, it's F no. And
Okay.
and it's kind of, in a lot of things in life, like if it's not heck yeah, I want to do this, then it's heck no. Now
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not talking about you wake up one morning and don't feel good. I'm talking about just with certain things in your life, the big things. If you're
Yeah.
like, do I really want to partake in this? Don't.
Yeah. If you're asking that question, don't do it. I love that. That's really, really good advice.
Because you're gonna get run over by someone who says, heck yeah, I want to do it.
Mm.
But yeah, it's some if you really want to do something and you feel prepared and you've worked for a while and you know you can do it, go for it.
Send it, man.
Just understand if you're a lifter who's been doing this for a while or not. Kyle and I've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
I've been doing this since 2007, and I've been doing this long enough to not have this injury.
Yeah,
To be
that's what's
honest,
crazy. What do you think caused it?
I think I put myself in a compromising position. That's my guess. I ultimately, if I have to tell, I mean, well, I'm telling my trainer buddy, you're my trainer buddy, you're the trainer. Um, not being strong enough, need to be stronger, and my body should be stronger in that position. I've been slacking on doing those cable reverse. What did the ATG the ATG guy, the knees over toes?
Like the split squats and stuff?
Yeah, that guy. He also says do reverse squats, which are essentially where you lie down. I'll even.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. You talking about like
Yes,
north?
where you lie down, Kyle. And I'm gonna see if I can do it because we're only a few days in. But you go. So you go here? You put your feet on the cable attachment, and you have things on the cables, and you bring them back.
Yeah. So you're training your hip flexors. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
First, it looks like I'm trying to train my lower abs, but I'm, like Kyle said, hip flexors.
Yeah.
All the things that surround the groin and surround the pelvic region
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
abdominal, and that's one of them.
So this is good. We can hit on this for people out there listening. What you're saying is you had a weak link in the chain, and that weak link broke, and so
Evidently,
yeah, and well, I think too. Do you think you think being sick played a role? Because I've hurt myself before when I was sick deadlifting, and I attributed it to like, man, I was just too run down, and my body just didn't have the resources it needed to like recruit everything. That's what I told myself. I think that could be.
I believe that. I believe that's true. I I'm the one too in my friend circle. My guys all train hard, but a lot of them have trained through stuff when it comes to lifting.
Yeah.
After I've had one or two injuries lifting, my new thing was don't feel great, don't feel real good. Again, I'm only saying this when we're talking about trying to get to the end of your training. Like, don't feel great, don't go in.
Yeah.
Don't feel good, don't go in. Or again, if you're lifting for lifestyle, if you're lifting to feel good for your mental health to look good, yes, go in. Just
Yeah.
cut it in half. Go if you were going to do the whole machine on chest press, do half the machine for 30 reps, or do a quarter,
Right.
or break it down. Just do something that won't hurt you and do the heck out of it, and don't worry about delaying. But
Yeah.
I
That's
was
a very
so close.
people to. That's a good point to bring up for people. If you're not doing this competitively, like you're not trying to hit some lifetime PR and you want to whatever, go in and work out and just work out within reason if you're feeling some pain with your body. Like let pain be your guide. But if you're someone who's like training to compete and perform, you might need to just completely alter your training and navigate this injury and figure out where the weak link is and maybe take the day off or whatever, because your goal is the bigger picture. It's not just to look good and feel good and all that stuff. So it's a very different game.
Either way, I'm here to tell our people. I'm 2 days into this reality where walking, getting up from the bed, turning over, I can do it now, but I feel like a 6-month-old baby, Kyle. Like I turn over on the bed and I'm waiting for my girlfriend to go, good job. Good job. Like I turned.
Hey, you did it.
Babe, I couldn't do that yesterday.
That's hilarious. Well,
Whatever.
give me 2 seconds because this sun's got a reflection in my eyeballs and I can't see anything. Hold on, because I want to
Do your thing, bro.
ask you what your plan is to come back from this injury.
It's a good question, Kyle. As I'm moving around too, brother, we're figuring this out as we go, which is almost a metaphor, or almost what the same kind of thing. Where it mirrors the same kind of thing we're doing with the injury. Or I am, brother. And
Dude,
I'm pretty sure you're banged up at some point too. When's the last time any of us were 100%?
oh, dude, never.
Never. If you're really going hard, never.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, no one is 100%.
Um. Yeah. So, what's your
What's
plan? This injury, like, how are you going to navigate this?
my protocol, Kyle? I think I've got a few people I can go to. I've got a wizard, a mad scientist named Corey Bridges, who is just and I'll find his thing and send it to you because he is the best. He worked with, and again, of course I can't drop this name right now. I will, but people, before I drop the name, remember he was very good, and he's just having a rough season. Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins was crushing it, and he's having a rough couple months. But like Corey worked with him, he worked with a ton of NBA players. He worked with Olympic ping pong athlete. He worked with every type of sport for physical training and movement. So I trust him, and I go to him.
What's
And
up?
oh, there you go. Is that your boy?
Yeah. This is
Hey, I've got a.
Come say,
We've got.
this is
Bro,
Mr. Jon Martin.
you can do it.
This is Mr. Ben Ackerman.
John, what's going on?
How are you, brother? How are you, my friend?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, sir.
All right, all right. This guy doing you right? We're on
He is. He's a darn good podcast host and a good trainer, but he's better at this than I think he even knows.
What's that? Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
We got to
Yes,
get
sir.
a podcast, but he doesn't want
That would be sick.
to. We'll take a poll from the audience.
We'll do a little Wim Hof thing. See how good you can get. If you can get really good, the cold plunge thing and the Wim Hof.
Oh, is this one of our cold plunge boys?
It is. We got to get in there.
Oh, I'm in. I'm in.
Yeah, we still got to go to Chattahoochee, bro.
Kyle, we do, and I'll tell you what. I may be sick, but if you are too, yeah.
Hey, we'll be sick together.
Well.
Chattahoochee.
What's the worst that can happen? But
Right.
I think the protocol I'm going to go to and again, I enlisted my dad. My dad's 83, was a college athlete, played football for Alabama in the 60s, and I said, Dad, what do you? And he just had a hernia surgery, abdominal hernia surgery a week ago. I'm taking him to his post-op next week. So I'm going, Dad, do I have a hernia? Because I heard and he said, just wait a week. Wait a week before you go to any of your people and then check it out. If there's no crazy, and here's another one for your listeners. Those of you who have a steady job and have good insurance, go get them. Those of you who don't, woo! The one thing I want to get out of this injury is to not make my sister have a heart attack or my mom. I want to take care of this without them knowing, to be honest.
Yeah.
So they don't go,
Yeah, to a bill.
Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do is just keep moving. What is your normal response? Give me an injury or two you've had. What's the immediate?
Yeah, and it's a really good question. I actually want to make a post about this. My immediate response, it depends on the severity. I've only tweaked my back a few times from training, and every time I have, it's been like a pretty solid tweak where it hurts to do anything, move, stand up, walk. You can't steer a steering wheel, it's bad. My protocol is to wait, just like you. Just wait. Keep yourself calm without freaking out and thinking it's worse than it is. Relax, let it cool down, and then get movement back into it. Exactly what you said. Just move around, do some cat-cows, some light decompression, maybe dig around in the muscles surrounding it, see if you can get them to relax, because they're trying to protect you, so try to get them to calm down. And then eventually it starts to settle down, and you can introduce bigger movement patterns. And then for me, within a month of all my back tweaks, I'm back in full training.
See, and Kyle, that's the thing. I learned this from two people. My buddy Eddie would always work through things. And in tennis, I work through things. But as a lifter, I was like, no, if I hurt something, I probably don't need to do it at all. And I would get better. But my friend was like, no, go he would just say, if you can't move, if you can't squat, go to LA Fitness or go to your friend's pool and go do body weight squats in the pool.
Yeah. Yep.
Go do that. Go do the heck out of that. And then a week later, or even during that week, if you want to keep using your upper body, okay, I'm going to go do a weight so light that I don't have to use my core to brace
Yep.
in the gym. I'm going to relax my legs, and I'm just going to do it for sets of 60 or sets of 20 with a 30-second rest. And am I going to die? No, I don't want to die the first week.
Yep.
Am I upset that I'm going to have to wait realistically another 3 to 4 months to go get this? Yes. Oh well, I'm still going to get it.
Part of it.
Still going to get it. You're good. We all these injuries are an opportunity for us to learn more about our body, learn and appreciate when we feel good.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the real thing.
Dude, that is a very poignant line, dude. It makes you appreciate when you're healthy, and I tell people this too. You have to earn the right to work out. Like people want to just do the sexy stuff. They want to just look good. They want to be able to snatch or handstand. Like, because I'm in the CrossFit world, they want to be able to handstand walk and do stuff. I'm like, hey, that stuff's cool. And maybe you are someone who has the ability to kick up and do it, and you can do it. Maybe you are. But for the most part, you got to earn the right to do that and earn the right to train and do these things that are really dynamic. And that takes time, dude. And it's not until you get injured that you realize, oh, I really do have to train these things and build up resilience and get rid of all the weak links in the body.
It's life too. Like, and I mean, handstand walks. I used to spend so much time at Lifetime Alpharetta working on those. I remember that. And it took me a long time too. All the progressions, all the regressions. Like, I'd be against the wall right there.
Yep.
I mean, just for 10 seconds. Then you're on the turf. Then you fall. Like, people don't know, Kyle. I would make a post on Instagram. People be like, how are you able to do this? Because you missed the first 3 months that I spent every day messing it up at the beginning of my workout when I felt good. Everyone else there was laughing. And I understand why they're laughing. I sucked at it. But like, all they see is the end, which I guess it's good that they have people like you to remind them, or even to document that it wasn't always like that.
Oh, dude. Yeah, it's a process. It's definitely.
And we also didn't have social media as much at our age to look like.
That just wasn't the thing. I remember when Instagram first came out, and I was like, what is this stupid thing where you post photos? That sounds dumb. I don't want to do
it. Kyle, I didn't join. I'm the last of my friends to join it. And people wouldn't believe me now. They go, oh, look at you take a video of you squatting. I'm like, I literally was the last one of my buddies to join it.
Yeah, dude.
2 posts a year. And they roasted me on that. They went, you think anyone cares what you post on Instagram? Like, and they were right.
I love watching it. I watch your workout videos all the time. I'm like, dude, this is amazing.
And that's where you and I have grown. I watch your stuff all the time, same thing. And it's like, and to bring up our soon to be featured guest on a future podcast, Marcus Gershon and his dad Dimitri are 2 people that beat it into me, dude. For like a year or 2, I had a bad breakup. I got off Instagram for maybe a year and a half. I didn't time,
Yeah.
And just in the gym, but like just insert MySpace profile pic, like down through life, like oh, I'll never find another one. Spoiler, guys, you will.
Yeah,
right.
And
that's not to say that X isn't special. She is special. But I mean, just what are we talking about? Like, there are a lot of great people who will have all of y'all's inside jokes and all of y'all's trust and all that stuff. You'll do it.
Yeah,
but
it does it'll happen.
It just takes time, and it just takes time until you decide to let it go and keep moving, and then all of a sudden the world just goes boop.
Yeah, that's a good point. Really good
point. But that Marcus and his dad were just like, you have to post. We watch you work with all these people in our gym and for free and help them, and you need to. And I went, look, I'm like everyone else. We're all a little narcissists, but I'm like, I'm not trying to show everyone else that that I'm like this. Like, I'm not going to post this stuff. No one really cares, and blah blah. And they were right. I was completely wrong. Kyle, I probably would have never met you, and I would have never even had the few followers that I do have. And I've certainly been able to help more people through it. So
yeah, it's great. We talked about that last time. It really is a great treatment, and it does feel weird to post about yourself. I said this the other day on my story. Someone asked me a question, what's a fear that you overcome or whatever, and I'll honestly post on social media because I don't want to hear people like it or not like it. I feel like a douchebag a lot of times. I feel like it's not very good.
Me too.
Like, it's all things, but the reality is Instagram and social media is a tool. and it could be really helpful for you and I to get our names out there and get a client and work with them and help people.
And Kyle, as a follower of yours, every time I see it, you so consistent. I've come to like you're part of my life now, bro.
That's
Yeah,
great.
even if I don't see you, I'm expecting that notification that Kyle Bernier like it's a thing.
That's cool. That's
So
really cool. That's
you've
encouraging.
done it. You yeah.
That's awesome to hear. Yeah, that's the whole part of being consistent. Marcus says that about you all the time. He's like, dude, Jon, he could do so much. I'm like, we're gonna get him. We're gonna get him out there, bro.
Hey, we all go, and I feel the very exact same way about Marcus. And it's like Marcus is like we're all like this in a way, but Marcus really is like insanely fiery or super chill. But that is Kyle. You and if he's a friend of yours, that says enough. He's a deep dude.
Yeah, we've had some good.
He's a good dude, and he's been through some stuff, and he's a light.
Yeah,
And I think all of us are lights, and he's one that will when he succeeds, no one here will be surprised when he's just accomplishing all of his dreams. We'll all be like, yeah,
makes sense.
duh.
Yeah, we need to get him on so we can all three just throw down.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, he's been crushing trading recently, dude.
Really?
Well, he says crushing. He says he's not crushing, but he's doing well. Like he said he's really learning it. He explains it to me. I'm like, dude, you know your stuff. Like you're doing awesome.
And Kyle, Kyle, this is how I know he's crushing it. You know how I know? Because he never told me. So like when I'm really doing something, I'm not gonna say jack to y'all. I'm quiet. Now some people do, but if I tell everyone I'm doing something, I get that dopamine boost, like almost like I did it, and then I don't go as hard as I need to. So I've even when I was a kid trying to get grades in school, I'm like, my parents like, how are you doing? I'm like, I want to talk about it.
Yeah, dude,
Like,
that's a real thing. Have you heard that before? It's like
no, I
real thing.
I lived it.
Yeah. So it's crazy you're saying that. So they proved that if you don't tell people like what it is you want to accomplish, you're more likely to accomplish it because when you tell someone, "Hey, I'm going to go do X, Y, and Z," to your point, you get that reward and that dopamine feedback from someone being like, "Oh, that's awesome, man. Like go do it. That's cool." And then you're less likely to do it because you're already getting the positive reinforcement from just talking about it. And so to your point, not saying a thing and just doing it, you're more likely to get there because you're waiting for that reward. It's kind of crazy.
It's crazy. And again, a disclaimer for the listeners out there. We know there are different types of people. Sports taught me, and again, I can say it now at 34, but this used to upset me. I guess I'm self-motivated enough because I've built a somewhat good body. Like, so I've gotten myself to the gym for decades and stuff. But in general, in tennis, I needed a little push at the beginning. And I had friends who would get up at 5 a.m. and go do extra practice every morning, and no one said a word to them. In fact, their parents didn't really care. My parents cared, and I was just scared to be left behind, and I wanted to still be in that elite training group. So I went. But
Yep.
like I knew deep down that I need a little push. So that's why what Kyle and I are talking about worked for me. Some people, Conor McGregor, he said, "Oh, I'm going to do this. Look out." Well, guess what? He was going to do it no matter what. So he's going to. So there might be someone listening who goes, "Well, I manifest and do this. If that works for you, then you're an exception. You're
Right.
go get it."
Yeah, it's definitely it's a great point. I'm glad you're saying that because it's definitely not like just like anything. It's not a golden rule.
There's outliers.
Yeah, there's always outliers. You're like saying the 5x5 squat routine is the best routine is like maybe for some people, but some people may want more volume at lighter weight, or some people just want to.
I loved the 5x5.
You like the 5x5?
When coming up, Kyle, we tried everything.
Yeah, everything.
Bro, everything. We went on bodybuilding.com. The ultimate thing that worked for my buddies and I, and to any of y'all who are getting started, to if there's younger listeners out there or people who've never hit a gym and just say, "Oh, I want to," because everyone says, you never have one goal, bro. You want to be ripped, shredded, and bigger. And like we did 10-8-6. We start 10-8-6. Then after 3 or 4 weeks doing that and building up, then we did 8-6-4. Then we did 6-4-2. And and then if I really felt spicy, 12, 10, 8. And then every 3 months, switch the exercises or add one or two in to build capacity on. And we went to the YMCA, and that's all it takes.
Yep. I love that, actually. Dude, I did sets of 10 for like 2 years straight. It was like 6 sets of 10, 10 sets of 10, 3 sets.
You're savage. You did the volume,
bro. Because I heard something about like, the Russians and all the volume they did and how
German volume and stuff. Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm going for it.
Dmitry Klokov and all those boys just doing set after set. I got into it maybe 2 or 3 years into it. My buddy said, let's try this 10 by 10 and 6 by 10 German volume. So we would do, 185 squat for 10 by 10 and then calf raises or 185 bench 10 or 135 bench 10 by 10 and 10 pull-ups or build up to it. That crushed.
Dude, I mean, it really does. Like it's incredibly simple and it's super effective.
If you have even one person, not even a best friend, just someone at the gym who will do it with you, or one of your friends who will do it with you in another state and just talk about it when they're done. Guys, never underestimate how much you can get done by going 3 days a week versus 0. Yeah. If you can go the other 2 days and do cardio and other stuff, great. If you can't, just go 3 days a week for a year or two, and you'll be like,
bro. I mean, yeah, if you can design or have someone design a very well written program for you 3 days a week, you crush it. But you got to get. I was thinking about this actually the other day in the shower. I have a lot of like pontification when I'm in the shower.
I know a Christmas gift for you, Kyle. But I want you to on our next podcast to show the viewers what I got you for a Christmas gift now. Because now that you mentioned thinking in the shower, I got you. Yeah.
But I was thinking about this. I was like, if you're gonna do a 3 day a week split, you got to get in there and like you got to make that hour like an hour where you're not like talking with friends and like talk with them if they're working in on your set and stuff and you're resting, but like you got to get in there and move and make it.
Yeah, if you go 7 days a week, go chat, get the lawn chair out like the power lifters like me, and do 1 rep and then sit the owner of our gym that I go to, Alex Waters. I go to a gym called DNA Strength, great gym, 24/7 gym in Norcross. But Alex has a skit on his Instagram where he was talking about how powerlifters recover between sets, and he does one like 500, 600, 700 pound deadlift. I have something super heavy, and then he immediately falls back into the bench, and they put a pillow and a blanket over him, and he like sleeps for 3 minutes.
It's so true, man. Yeah. The rest when you're working that heavy, the rest in between sets is significantly more. I mean, you take a big rest and you get all your energy back. And you go do another set, and like that's it. That's your training style. You're just going for peak.
But here's the thing, Kyle. And this goes back to what you said earlier. You got to earn it. And to any listeners who are just getting started, you got to go old school first, like we did. Kyle and I, we had the cell phone, the T-Mobile or not T-Mobile. What is it? The one that had the Nokia. I had the Nokia, and I put it up in my locker, and I may have had an MP3, I may have not. And like the Sansa or whatever. So there was no talking.
Yeah, no.
For the first 2 years. I would like to think I earned the right to take a few breaks now, but that's not true because all my friends who go harder and accomplish more tell me I still haven't earned that right. So
I love that.
They're like, oh, you did 485? That's cute. I benched 485. Pause. Like, stop talking.
Bro, that's crazy.
Eddie's hit it. And again, naturally, Kyle. Tacos and tequila, baby.
Naturally? That's insane.
Tacos and tequila. Like, and the only way I know it is because I've watched it for the last 6 years. I've been in the locker room, and I know his wife. I know nothing.
That's amazing. Wow. Yeah, that's incredible.
That's crazy.
Yeah, my goal right now, I would like to squat 500. The closest I've ever been was 440 or 445.
You're way closer than you think, Kyle. I've seen you squat. You have a monster squat and monster legs, and you build capacity on all your wheels and stuff. As soon as you do like a 12-week type program, you'll jump up to 470, 480, and then if you and I will hit 500 on because you're high bar, aren't you?
Yeah, I go.
Ish. Kyle, you and I are hitting 500 on high bar next year, and we're hitting it for 1 or 2. I've had enough of this.
Dude,
We're doing it.
I've had enough of this.
I've had. It's been too long, bro. I've had enough. I get close, and then I go close.
So the closest you've been right now is 475 or 485.
I guess so. I get on high bar. Yeah, I've never even been close to doing 475. I took a long time off of high bar, and then I got these little Inzer knee sleeves for my, and I had other knee sleeves and all that stuff. Which the goal with using those knee sleeves is to hit weight that I haven't hit before, and then take them off, and then be able to do it with nothing.
Yeah,
and then take the belt off and be able to do at least 80-90% of it with nothing.
Yeah. As close to raw as you can get, raw meaning no equipment, I would say it's better because you're again,
for sure.
You're not creating any sort of reliance on a tool to help you do something. So your joints are enough to do it.
And if I wasn't thinking of being in powerlifting for a couple meets and hitting this, I was a very much a no belt, no sleeves kind of guy. But then I realized for me, I was mired at like 430, 425 for like 3 or 4 years, and I went, okay, let's try this knee sleeve thing a little, and I was like, oh, rebound.
Yeah,
but it's like you said, it's you only if you really want to. I don't know. It can be dangerous because you do create compensation.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
You do. So if you aren't doing this to power lift and that's not your passion, take a little longer to hit those numbers. Don't get hurt.
Yeah.
Because you never know. Maybe that did something for me. I think I was just sick, and I should have let the bar go down a little quicker. But can you imagine that? Like I'm trying to fight that demon now. I'm like, am I always this close to injury? Like we forget when we have 100 successful attempts, one tweak.
Never know, man. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it can be scary if you let it be scary, but it's kind of just part of the game where like you just got to take these calculated risks. We're like, I'm either gonna succeed, or I'm gonna like, just constantly run away from it my whole life and be scared. It's like,
and I'm gonna tell you right now, for the viewer, Kyle is extremely erudite and very well programmed and very thorough, but he's bullheaded just like me. So
dude.
like when I fall, Kyle, if I used to do the rollerblading on the ramps and stuff, and like go to the skate parks and all that, when I would fall, rip my jeans, I'm landing that jump before I go home.
Let's go.
I don't care, and it's the same thing on the squat. Like, okay, will I spend a month doing tempo high bar where I go
Super.
and pause it and go, sure, am I gonna jack that weight up once it's good? Yeah. And will I go back down hard and get it? Yeah.
100%.
But I can't live my life scared. Like,
can't, man. Definitely can't. What does your training look like? So you have a coach who programs for you?
So currently I program with how do we say this? I had a coach back in the day named Justin West, who was a wonderful nationally highly ranked powerlifter. And then I went to my buddy Edward Acevedo for powerlifting, who's again I think he's the bench press state champ of Georgia, and he's pretty about 584 squat. He's done way more in the gym. He did 584 a week ago, but it was his first meet back. So he deadlifted. I've seen him deadlift 725. He hit 672 hook grip, where they put the little, and then he ripped his thumb, and then he almost hit 705 with that grip. He's got a little work. But anyway, Eddie programs a lot of stuff, but we kind of consult with each other because I've trained enough athletes and been obsessed enough. Like for you, Kyle, unless you have like one of the top 5 most famous coaches in the world, your opinion's always going to really matter. Like, a ton.
Yeah.
So he'll tell me stuff, and then I'll say, okay, but is this okay? And then, of course, if I say something, he's like,
yeah. I actually just recently hired a coach, and I was hesitant about it because I was like, man, do I really need it? I know how to do all this stuff, yada, yada. And So to your point, he writes a lot of stuff for me that sometimes I will change on the fly if I need to, based on the day and the time, or maybe how. But I will say, it's been super helpful to have someone write hard workouts. So maybe not strength progressions, but hard workouts for me that I wouldn't write for myself. And
Yep.
so he's had me doing these like 50-minute EMOMs, these weird cyclical intervals, and I'm like, dude, this is crushing me, and I needed it because I wouldn't have wrote that for myself. I was starting to like hold myself back. I could tell, and so that's been super helpful, I will say. But there's still an element of using my own knowledge and having some autonomy with my training and understanding my body and maybe tweaking things a little bit to make it fit better for me on the day.
Eddie does a similar thing for me. Eddie can really, when he knows I'm feeling good, he will push me. He'll say, and again, he'll say things that your standard powerlifting coach would never. Like the standard powerlifting coach would say, use the RPE system, the rating of perceived exertion, which
Yep.
by the way is fine. It's fine.
Yep.
I've done it. The quick rundown on that for the viewers is an RPE is 1 through 10. If an RPE is 7, if someone says, Kyle, I want you to squat RPE 7, they want Kyle to pick a weight after he's warmed up that if he's, they say, I want you to do a triple. That would mean once Kyle finishes that triple, he can look at his trainer in the eye and go, I could have done 3 more with a gun to my head. I had 3 more reps.
Yeah.
But you stopped after 3.
Yep. Yeah.
10 minus 7,
That's what I use. So I use that actually with my clients right now. It's a very simple way to help them understand, like help them understand their body, like their RPE. It's like, hey, in training, I want you like for this set, you're like a 6 or 7 RPE, and that helps them understand. Okay, so it's not quite max effort. It's a little bit more than just like lollygagging through, and it helps them understand a little bit from what I've seen. But the RPE, I use it a little bit, but usually I try to work off percentages.
That's what Eddie does. Eddie's percentage. I came up off the percentage stuff in high school, but RPE taught me how to examine myself in a harsh manner and a more honest. So I think you got to do it all.
Yeah.
At a point. And but yeah, Eddie will write me some tough stuff for sure, and he'll do some things that are unconventional. He'll say, John, okay, you don't feel like you can go too heavy, but you've been doing well. I want you to hit 315 for 20 singles today. Huh? The normal coach would say, or hit 10. Or he'll say, send me the first 4, and if I like it, I'm going to green light another 3. Like, because that's what he does.
Right.
And, I would say to the viewers, picking a coach, unless you have 10 or plus years of training athletes like Kyle and I do, and unless you've hired other great coaches and learned from them, if you hire a coach that you like, communicate with them. But listen, and say you think you should do something else. If you aren't highly educated in that field, what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to see what it's like to go this way. Like, just listen, because people like Kyle and I, and there are a lot of trainers who are doing this too. There are a lot of good trainers out there. There's a lot of bad trainers out there.
Yeah,
there's a lot of good trainers out there. We see them, but they're like I'm pretty sure you sit alone at night and think about that, or talk to other trainer buddies in your community. I do. I'm just sitting there thinking, what does this person need to do? What do they look like when they're doing this?
Yeah, 100%.
It's important.
What does your split look like throughout the week?
Right now, it's probably 4 days. But I'm realizing I'm kind of on a 10-day split. I normally would just do a weekly split, and I did while I was training for this last push, because I said to myself at the end of the year I'm going to hit these numbers, and if I don't hit the end of the year, cool, but I want to get close. But then, Kyle, I told myself, okay, when I don't feel good, if I don't sleep too well, I'm not going in.
Yeah.
Because I'm no longer building strength right now. I'm expressing strength. And that's a whole different thing. So if I sleep 8 or 9 hours, which it can be hard for any grown person to do that, then okay, I'm going to go in and do it. If I slept 3 or 4, I'm not going in.
Yeah.
I'm going to chill at home, or I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to eat right, whatever. Because of that, it's been on the 10 days. So typically it was a heavier bench day, more trying to get to a heavier touch and go single for me, with bench press. It would, and then after accessories, some back, push pull, so some back work.
Yep.
Later, it was a weighted pull up, and then a rep out with however I felt with body weight pull ups. Even though the pull up, I had an attachment that I would put to a pull up bar where I could turn my hands so it wouldn't stress my shoulders out and my front delts out too much.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
Because why am I doing it? I'm doing it to build my bench.
Yep. Context.
Arms, stuff like that. Little, yeah, nothing crazy on the arms, but just trying to think. Kyle, do you do L sits?
I used to. I haven't done L sits in a long time, but I love. Actually, as we've been sitting here, I've been thinking about L sits because I love them.
I started doing L sits just because on my primary bench day, I'm fried on the triceps. Now, in the days where we wanted to get just big and jacked, too bad. You're going to do more tri work. But I want to relax. I want my elbows and my tendons around the elbows to feel good for 3 or 4 days later, to do a maybe more of a volume lighter bench day. And so I've been doing the L sits because it's just a little isometric thing that it works my core, but it also worked my triceps.
Yeah, yeah, like a low impact tricep with a little.
Mm-hmm.
L sits.
Then, I mean, God, they kill. I started those. I couldn't do 10 seconds.
Yeah, yeah. Or if you did, you're cramping in your quads.
Yeah, yeah. And you go, what on earth? Like, well, it just takes everything. Yeah. And then let's see. Then usually I would say I would go like on a Monday like that, and then I would go Tuesday if I feel right, which I usually do, and then hit legs. I would hit a heavier leg day.
Yep.
I would but again, I would work up to a weight that I knew I could do, but I wanted to turn it, like for instance, when I was being programmed for powerlifting, it would have been an RPE 7 single, but but instead my low bar was squat was 440 for RP 7. My coach wanted me to build it up into a speedy single, and that ended up getting me up to 500 after a couple of rounds of like a couple of 6 to 8 week rounds.
Yep.
But this time I said no. I'm gonna do 435, but then I'm gonna add a 10 every time, after every 4 or 5 weeks. And if it's RPE 8, I'm gonna turn it into RP 7.
Yeah, right.
Now again, only if you've been doing this a while should you do that, because that is a little risky. But yeah. I feel like I know my body, and it worked, Kyle. It worked up until a few days ago. It worked from August to now. So
yeah, I mean, again, I watch your videos. I mean, you've been training hard
and resting hard, brother. Train Monday and Tuesday, and if I sleep 3-4 hours, 5-6 hours, I'm not okay. I finished Tuesday. Okay, cool. I'm going to go in Friday and Sunday.
Really? You take that much time?
Sure. Now, I'm normally not a proponent of that. This is the first time in my life I've done that. I've been taught you keep a promise to yourself, set the normal thing, go in when you go in. But again, this is why you talk with your coaches and critically think too. What is my goal? My goal is simply to hit these numbers, to know that I did it, and then to go and do something a little more something a little healthier, or something a little newer. Right. So I'm not going to go in and get hurt, or at least that's what I was thinking. And then I had to wait a little longer,
No, that's awesome, man. That's really awesome. I think it's good for people to hear that, because when people look at guys like us, it's very easy to think that all we do is train all the time. I get messages like that all the time. You work out every day long, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, no, I really don't. I try to train almost every day. So 5 out of 7 days I try to train.
Yep.
It's only maybe an hour and a half total. And I'm doing blocks and trying to compete in CrossFit. But I take days off too. Like this whole weekend I didn't train, do anything. I was like, hey, I need to rest. I'm feeling it. My back was a little tight. I was like, I'm going to rest.
You can't just water the plant forever. You got to give it sunlight too.
Love that.
All you do is tear your body, tear your muscle when you're training, and when you're not, you're building it. But now I say this, you bet your butt I was training 7 days a week for some of those years, but I was doing different training. Kyle, I couldn't lift the weight that I do now, so I was incapable of really hurting myself. Who's going to hurt themselves doing half the weight that they're doing years later? Yeah, like it just depends on what you're doing.
Yeah. So what do you do for conditioning? What's your cardio? Do you do any?
Typically, Kyle, I would do lower impact. I would jump rope, and I built up from doing 30 seconds to after, by the end of the year doing 20 minutes
Yeah.
straight, baby. I'm doing what, I did swimming quite a bit. I swim, to the other side of the pool, relax, swim, finish the, look, see how much time's passed, about 30, 35 seconds, finish the minute, come back. Once I've built capacity over the weeks, then start doing actual laps. The Airdyne, love
Yeah.
the Airdyne.
Yeah.
Assault bike. Lately, though, and again, this could be, I noticed that when I was trying to hit real heavy stuff, I needed, if I did hard conditioning, it took a little toll on my, just tiny.
Yeah.
And I needed everything I could get to get these numbers. So I really, for the last summer and fall, my only conditioning was teaching tennis. So teaching tennis, I'm moving now around 8 hours a day.
Sure.
But it was walking, brother. And I'm now okay with that. I was never okay with that. I always thought you need to run, sprint. I would walk to go get my groceries at the Forum and walk to the river and walk back. And I also used to never look at the steps. Like, what? If you work hard, you want to check your steps. I look at the steps now. I'm like, I got 15K. Like, I look at, I'm doing that now. So that's to answer your question, walking,
No,
rucking and walking.
that's great. I'm glad you're telling people that, because again, context dependence. Your goal is, like you said, to be able to express the maximum amount of strength that you can express. And when we add conditioning in, it dampens down your ability to do that. And so if your goal is not to be like me as a CrossFit athlete, I have to be able to do both. And so I'll probably never, unless I get rid of conditioning, I'll probably never be as strong as I could actually be, because I'm still doing conditioning. But I don't care. I want to do CrossFit.
Kyle, and when you hit 500 squat still doing this, that's going to mean you probably could hit 550. And not that you need to, just it should be a feather in your cap.
Yeah, that's great. It's crazy to even fathom that. But yeah, I mean, you're right, exactly, because it just dampens you down a little bit. You're not giving yourself the rest and recovery you need to really perform max effort on lifts, because your nervous system.
And by the way,
up.
I don't like it. Like, I mean, I like it. I like doing it, whatever, and I like how my results are. But like, it'll be for a season of life, and like, I prefer moving around and working my heart.
Yeah, feeling the breathing and your lungs on fire. You kind of enjoy that.
Yeah, I like that stuff.
Yeah.
What do you do? What is your conditioning now with as busy a schedule as you have, or is it simply you mix it in?
Dude, yeah. Well, so right now Mondays are upper body pressing with some machine conditioning. So like I was doing these things where it was like 3 sets of 100-calorie assault bike into AMRAP, dumbbell bench, and lat pull downs in like a 10-minute window. Then you would rest, do that again 2 times. So it'd be three intervals of that, and then a bunch of pressing afterwards: shoulder pressing, hand push-ups, dumbbell, but all that sort of stuff. Tuesdays have been squatting, or like a front rack hold. You saw that on my Instagram. I was doing the front rack marches.
Love that.
Lunges, doing that kind of stuff.
Love that.
Wednesdays have been actual squatting, where I'm doing right now I'm doing box squatting and then into front squats, like 30-second AMRAPs at 25 or 245.
Mm-hmm.
And then Fridays are, I go into the gym there and train with them. We usually do some sort of running conditioning. And then Saturdays are back to prep and some sort of like Metcon that's kind of heavy. So it's kind of all over the place. But again, it's because I'm trying to, because CrossFit is about doing everything. So I'm just doing everything.
Well, it sounds like there's a method to your madness.
Yeah.
That's what I get from it. Yeah. Just sometimes some seasons you gotta push. Yeah, bro, I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Right.
I'm holding it in too. We're a little under the weather. Like I hope anyone listening is not, but I assume you are.
Yeah, it's that year. I'm doing a High Rocks competition coming up though, in April.
Where?
In Atlanta here.
I guess what? You don't have to invite me. I'm pulling up.
Bro,
done. The boy. Bro.
Come do it.
Tell you what. What do you do? Just CrossFit competition.
It's so High Rocks is like a new fitness thing where it's like it's more endurance based, I don't know the full workout, but it's the same at every event where it's like running and then some sort of movement. It's kind of like a Spartan race, but it's indoors and it's more professionalized. So there's like wall balls, there's sled pushing in it, there's burpee broad jumps, there's skier, farmer.
that, was,
Did you just
that,
sneeze
was,
and knock your phone out of your hand?
that was a powerful sneeze. So that competition sounds, I mean, indoors, which is cool. I love outdoors too, but indoors sounds good. Wall ball.
In April, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the pro division and see how I stack up against those guys.
I mean, no matter what I'm coming to watch, I that kind of would be cool to do.
Dude, yeah, do it.
Yeah, and just to participate again, not in the capacity that Kyle is. Kyle's coming there to dominate people. I would come there and be like, oh, I'm in condition to do it. I want to survive, and then watch him do it.
Yeah, you should get Marcus to do it and do a team with him. You guys should
Kyle, guys, this is the trainer because I mean, why if I don't, I'm a bad friend, so I'm doing it. All right, I'm in. Done. March or April?
April.
All right, fine. I'm doing it.
I actually got to make sure that I did sign up for the pro division because there's a men and then there's a men's pro. I got to make sure I sign up for the pro division.
Fair.
The weights aren't heavy. Like the lunges are with 70-pound. It's like 100 feet with 70-pound dumbbells, which is not terrible. The sled is like 400 something, but that sounds heavy. On a sled, it's not.
It's not. Okay. It's heavy for any normal human being. Right. Kyle and I do this for fun. So no, like it's still heavy, and when you're tired, it's heavy. But what he's saying is it's doable for someone who's psycho and doing all the stuff anyway. and you got your guy.
Casually psycho.
Casually, like
dude, we should make a shirt that says that casually psycho, and it's a training shirt.
Kyle, done. That's a t-shirt.
Dude, if someone makes that, we're gonna know you stole it from this podcast.
You already know, and I was about to say I'm gonna send that to some of the boys who I have these companies. Like I don't know about you, but I love a good T-shirt. Not always like a something on it, whatever. But I like a T-shirt that I can wear for 6 years because it's well made.
Yeah.
I just need to know where these guys make them because there's only a few companies that have like those great T-shirts, but like bamboo shirts and stuff like that. Oh.
Yeah. Dude, I need to find some pants and some shorts that don't rip at the crotch. All my pants.
All right.
Crotch.
I've got, or better yet, critique by creating. We both need to do that. We just need to make them. But I have a buddy named Aaron Goggins who has a company called Branch X, and he makes a lot of athletic apparel and stuff. And I wore his joggers for the last 2 or 3 years, like 1 or 2 pairs.
Yeah,
and his doesn't do that. So, but then again, Kyle, you be going hard. Yeah, no, I see those videos. Yeah. You be ripping pants.
I don't have a thigh gap either, so it's constant friction when I'm walking.
Kyle walking. Kyle's in another zip code with that. He's doing his thing, bro. But I remember I showed my girl like one of the things. I'm like, look, this guy's a savage. This is my friend Kyle and all. And she's like, oh, he got that thing on him. Kyle be doing them lunges. I'm like, hey, turn around.
Close your eyes. Leave the room. Get out of here. Close your eyes.
Yeah, leave the room. Don't talk about my friend like that.
That's hilarious, dude. Oh man.
Sorry.
Dude, where we at? 53 minutes. All right, we'll call it here for the day. I'm gonna head to the sauna actually. But dude, I'm glad.
Oh, you're a savage. While sick. Yes. Dude,
I'm gonna go hop in there before they close at 6. I'll see if I can squeeze in like 20 minutes or so.
Perfect, dude.
Dude, yeah. So we got to get Marcus on here, bro, and do a throwdown between us three. Got it,
Marcus. We're coming for you. We will all be better. I will definitely have a standalone, whatever they call it. I will have my camera not mobile. It will be a one spot next time. And Kyle, we need more updates, my friend, because you'll be getting ready. Hopefully, if I'm lucky, I'll get on before you do your competition and before we do it for you, me, and Marcus. Maybe that will be the time. Yeah,
we'll plan something. Marcus was saying do something in January, so maybe we'll plan something in January or maybe February. But we'll do something for sure.
Whenever the answer is yes, because I've got I need your guys' advice on a couple things. Obviously, yours on navigating through this injury, or need you to verify some stuff that I'm doing, validate it, and we definitely need Marcus's financial advice. Marcus is doing his thing. Yeah.
Yeah, he's making moves. Yeah, dude. I hope
Absolutely, bro.
you heal up quick, man. Seriously, I hope it's just very minor. In a week, you're good. You're back to training, man.
Thank you, brother. I think it's I'm hopeful. I just pulled my groin. I'm gonna be moving around this week because I just refuse. I refuse. I'm gonna do what I can, and that's it. What I
Yeah,
can, keep moving. Keep moving.
that's it, man. Yeah, for those that are listening, thank you for tuning in. If you watched on YouTube, I know it's been chaotic. We've been bouncing around, and we had visitors and sneezes, and it's been awesome. But
For sure.
thank y'all for tuning in. This has been Mr. Jon Martin. Where are you at on social media again? Give people your handle.
At John DM7, JONDM7.
All right, yeah, go hit him up. Go follow him. If you ever need training advice, dude, message him. Guy's a wizard. We love you guys, and as always, keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward, bud.